This is the Lelit Elizabeth. It's part of the VIP lineup, which is a more modern range of machine. Got a more designer feel about it than the Mara, which is on the right, which is your standard traditional E61 machine. The machine has an E61 size group, an E61 gasket. It uses a screw-in shower screen and dispersion disc with a bolt, but that's not a problem. Comes with a nice heavy portafilter, Lelit's coffee slide for a double or a single. You can put a cup, it's narrow enough, you can put a cup right underneath it and get a double, or space them apart a bit and get a single. You have a little rack, which is handy to raise the height of the drip tray grid, and allow you to use smaller cups, get them right up to the spouted portafilter. You have 3 buttons on the right here that are illuminated, and there's a number 1 and number 2. You can program different types of shot within there, different types of pre-infusion length. They're not 1 and 2 cup buttons. The buttons can be programmed with a timer, so it can start the shot. You can press it to start the shot, and after a programmed number of seconds that you've decided on, it will stop the shot. I normally would program these with a number of seconds as a safety feature, say 50 seconds, where I wouldn't do a shot that long, but if something happens, I know the machine will automatically cut out. Say I'm doing a shot and the phone rings, I know at least it will stop. Another button here for water. The great thing about the Lelit is if you draw water, even if the steam boiler isn't on, it is on at the moment, if it isn't on, you'll still get hot water. It doesn't have to have the pressure of the steam boiler to get the water out, which very few, I don't know of any machines actually that put water out the hot water spout if your steam boiler's cold. And when you do draw water, because of the design of the machine, it actually mixes the water for a nice smooth draw, and it mixes the water with the brew boiler water and the steam boiler water, and you get a nice smooth flow of water. And it's just refilling. Now this machine has been fitted with the Mara X pump, which is a nice quiet pump. I'd actually, the standard Elizabeth doesn't come with that, but the new one coming in July will come with that Mara X pump. It's also got, the new one will have a better expansion valve. This has still got the old expansion valve, and improved programming in the Lelit control center. So what you're going to see here, if you own an Elizabeth, your Elizabeth won't do all of this stuff. You can get another LCC if you want, and update the firmware in your Elizabeth and have all the extra functions. At the top here you've got a cup warmer. It's nice, there's no holes in it, but it keeps everything lovely and warm. No holes is a sort of advantage because you can't spill anything into the top of the machine, and there's a ventilation slot at the back to keep the machine cool. A lot of the electronics are here, probably in the coolest part of the machine, so not really a problem. And at the top here, at the back, there's just a hatch and a tank that you can remove or refill. I use a spouted jug with a long tube on it to refill my tanks. I actually use one of these to refill. It's very easy. And then there's an on-off switch on the left here, a steam knob here on the right, with powerful steam, and these gauges, the top one illuminates when you're pulling a shot, and the bottom one, the LCC, is an OLED, self-illuminated OLED display. So I'm going to make myself a latte now and just have a nice coffee.